Yes, everybody, Russ on the West Ham Network, and another one. We're like buses. I do one video, and as soon as I finish one video, some other news breaks. The Premier League have just put out their official retained list. Obviously, we spoke about it yesterday in terms of what the club said, in terms of so obviously Abona going, Joseph Anang leaving, and how they were still putting offers together for the likes of Divine and also for Ben Johnson. But just thought we just go through the list because they've published the list. That's it in full in terms of the first team in terms of contracts. Again, Josh Ajala, Edson Alvarez, Antonio, Ryan Batcham, Said Ben Ramas, obviously Said and someone like Tilo Kira. I mean, they are retained. Obviously, they will be leaving, particularly Tilo, although there's still some question mark around Said. No real surprises there. Although the only surprise is that it's Daniel William John Ings and it's Kurt Happy Zouma. Zouma's middle name is Happy. Obviously, Emerson, you've got Dan Rigg, Carl Robinson, Carl Junior Robinson, Ollie Scarles, Cam Schweier, Mason Terry, obviously with the departed Jacob Knightbridge. You'll be seeing more of him, and Finley Herrick as well within the under-21s. And then in terms of the scholars, obviously you can see their offers for Benjamin Anthony Johnson and Divine Saku Mbaba. Elsewhere, in terms of the scholars, we've offered contracts to, as I said, Favour Favani and Tyrone Akpata. And we've released Blaze, we've released Jerry Mulu, Liam Jones, obviously Steve Jones' son, and Seb Booth as well. That wasn't announced on the club's website, but you know, Adiele's a great player, potential. Jeff Medina as well. Rihanna, Alicia Shornoni, some very, very good players there. We've kept on by the looks of it as well. So that's it. It was literally just a quick one, just to say that those have been officially announced. Obviously, it sort of kind of was released yesterday by the club, but it's now official on the Premier League website. You can check it out with all the others. Particularly interesting one is actually, and I forgot to mention, Maxwell Cornet's full name. It's Gnarly Albert Maxwell Cornet. And obviously we know that Aaron William Cresswell has been offered a new deal as well. So yeah, this afternoon, lunchtime, 12 o'clock, we have got Tim Vickery, Mr. Brazil, on the channel, talking with Holly about everything to do with West Ham, and Brazil. We talk about Luis Guilherme, we talk about Vitória, we talk about Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno, but we do talk about Bruno this afternoon, and Wesley, and also why we're looking at Brazil so often. So I've just got a little teaser clip here. It's on the channel at midday. It's on as a premiere, so I'll be on there to chat as well and take your comments. But enjoy.
Well, he's only got one goal.
Yeah.
It was a cracker. It was an absolute cracker, and it won a game. So, as is obvious when you're interested in someone who's 18 years of age, you're buying much, much more on promise than you are on reality. Now, I saw that before that West Ham were said to be interested in another winger from across Sao Paulo, Wesley at Corinthians. Yeah. And the interesting thing about both of these, and they're very different in the sense that Wesley is right-footed and cuts in, and Luis Guilherme is left-footed. But the thing that they have in common is that these aren't lightweights. These are physical, and Luis Guilherme is not particularly tall, but he's physically built. Well, I was in the stadium watching him on Sunday and talking to people who are much closer to this than I am, and saying it still could happen. It's not necessarily. They were still expecting him to go, which is huge, because when this thing broke, actually, in a way, West Ham have been beneficiaries here, because if this hadn't broke, he probably would have joined Man City in the last window. Yeah. And I'll tell you this, he ain't going nowhere now, because there ain't going to be no one buying him